That goes without saying. Thank you. You want to stay up here for one photo op real quick? Let's snuggle in. There you go.
Hey, Mayor, I think it's worth noting that the city has been a city for 143 years, and Don has worked for us for over a third of that.
Wow.
He and I have debated whether it's 50 or 51. We settled on 50 because he felt like he could defend that number, but he served us for a long time.
Well, when he gets his next plaque, it'll be 62 years. So we're good. Well, thank you, Don. Thank you for the information. And moving on to approval of minutes. If somebody would like to make a motion to approve the minutes, now is your opportunity to do so. Ryland, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, thank you. Randy?
Second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion on it? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, moving on to public comments. Public comments is a portion of our meeting where anybody can speak for 3 minutes or less on agenda items for the evening. And we would call you up to the podium, push your microphone on, and state your name and your address. And you would have 3 minutes to talk about agenda items for the evening. So at this time, we'll open up public comments. Anybody like to come forward, you can do so at this time. Last call for public comments. Okay, we'll close the public comments and move on with the rest of our meeting. Under new business, today it's 5A, Resolution 2025-09, a resolution regarding the National Incident Management System. Eric, do you want to take this?
Yeah, so I'll be real brief. The resolution regarding the National Incident Management System is a requirement for the city to be eligible for certain federal emergency management system and state management system grants. It's one that we've had passed before amongst this body, and it allows us to be able to attract those particular funds.
Great. Great, thank you. So if anybody would like to approve this with a simple motion, you can do so at this time. Gretchen?
I will make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-09. And I'm looking for the name of it, approving the National Incident Management System.
Great,
Resolution.
thank
Yeah.
you. Is there a second? Abby?
I second the motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on down to 5B, Resolution 2025-10, a resolution requesting state of Wisconsin funds be allocated for Wisconsin-related passenger rail corridor studies. Eric, do you want to start us out? And Gretchen, if you want to add to it, you certainly can. Eric?
Absolutely. So what you have before you today is Resolution 2025-10, and this is a resolution where we're urging the state of Wisconsin, the governor's office, to endorse applying funds to study a rail-based system where we would have our own depot here and connecting to the Twin Cities. Our own alderperson, Ms. Yanko, has been serving on a committee that has been exploring this possibility here for about 2 years now, if I have that correct. And so this resolution before you does not bind us to any money, but it does encourage the state to invest money to continue to study this area as a possible development and an eventual stop.
I think that's well said. Gretchen, do you have anything to add to that?
So this would lead us into stage 2, which is a 90% match and a 10% match, excuse me. 90% is covered by the federal government, and this resolution is similar, if not the same wording as the Eau Claire resolution that was already sent to the governor's office. Just encouraging the state to pick that up. And in attendance at our meetings are the Wisconsin DOT and the Minnesota DOT and all the counties on our route and folks that are in cities as well. So there's a lot of investment and appreciation for our route specifically, also federally. So there's a lot of potential for us to get matches and a good financial outlook for our particular corridor because of the public-private combination and the direct access model, which was talked about in it. That's a very, it's sort of a unique, it's not just going with the federal Amtrak. So we are proceeding, but it helps to encourage the state government to allocate the funds towards helping us financially so that the cities aren't on the hook until we have, actual, future investment. So stage 2 is to review the, is to get the real plans in place and to get, do all the budget reviews, the, site needs so that we can do actual, detailed planning. Stage 1 was to see the viability and whether it was even an option. So hopefully the governor listens
Perfect.
to our resolution.
All said. If anybody would like to support this with a motion, they can do so at this time. Abby?
I make a motion to approve the resolution 2025-10, a resolution supporting state of Wisconsin funds be allocated for Wisconsin-related passenger rail corridor studies.
Great. And Gretchen?
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, moving on to 5C, special events requests. We have 3 this evening. We can take them all in one motion. Yoga at Wilson Park. Arrive LLC, June 3rd, June 10th, June 17th, June 24th, 2025. Popcorn in the Park, Menomonie Area Senior Center, Wilson Parks, and these correlate with the Ludington Guard Band Nights, June 3rd, June 10th, June 17th, June 24th, July 1st, July 8th, July 15th, July 22nd, July 29th, and August 5th, 2025, and the Harvest Dinner, Menomonie Market Food Co-op at Wilson Park, September 6th, 2025. Anybody like to make a motion to support these? You can do so at this time. Rylan.
Yeah, I would make a motion to approve the special event permits as presented.
Okay, motion been made. Is there a second to this? Whoops.
Can you add contingent upon proof of insurance?
Yes, sorry about that. I'd make a motion to approve the special event permits as presented pending proof of insurance.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you. And Matt, you get your mic on?
Yeah, I'll second Ryland's motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. It moves us down to reminder regarding open meeting requirements. Eric, can you just get us started with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So included in your packet was a memorandum that talks a little bit about open meetings. And so we have a few new council persons, plus it's always good to have a reminder, especially as there's a lot of different events that are taking place here in our city where older persons might find themselves at those particular events. And when we find that be the case, we want to try to avoid having any potential open meeting violations. So you take a look at that document, it talks about basically what is considered a meeting. And if you are going to have a meeting where you have enough older persons present, those meetings have to be noticed, much like what these city council meetings are. They require a certain amount of notice. So that way the public has an ability to be able to participate in government and see it in action. One of the things that can get us into hot water when it comes to open meetings is if we're having meetings without having those notices. And sometimes those can happen whether we're engaged in email or social media, which is something that is being more prevalently used, or attending other meetings inside of the public. And we want to make sure that we're avoiding any potential type of open meeting violations. When it comes to meetings in the public, you certainly are welcome to come to or go to events that take place. They could be sporting events, they could be meetings to gather information about something that you're interested in. Those things are A-okay and normal. If you're attending these events and then you find yourselves with other older persons that are present during them, you're going to want to make sure that you restrict yourself into not engaging in conversation about business at these events that are taking place here at a council meeting, or if these events are related to things that you might be bringing to council with the other older persons. Because we want to avoid things like a walking quorum from taking place. So if you do come to one of those events and you find that, let's say it's an informational gathering one, and people start asking you questions because you are certainly recognizable people as elected officials. One of the things that you may want to take into consideration is that if you are asked those questions, to make sure that you're letting people know that you are there to gather information and you're not there to be making a statement at that particular time. So that way people do not confuse that with you trying to hold an open meeting. Another thing that can be done too, and this has been more commonplace in the course of email. I'm sure at places where you've worked, if you have email, you probably are already cautioned about don't reply all the emails. Sometimes that can be an issue. That happens certainly too as well on city council. If you are sending information that you want to go out to other alder persons, we ask them to send that information to me or to Pam Wilder to be distributed. If you find yourself that you're in an email chain with a variety of other alder persons and you need to say something, do not be replying all. Because if you start doing that, you're now engaging in public business via that email. So we want to make sure that you don't find yourself caught into that conundrum. And we did have an incident that was talked about in around, what was it, 2014-15, Mayor? And that carried with it a penalty, and the penalty can be up to $300 through our district attorney's office. So we want to make sure that we're not engaging in open meetings type violations. The other thing too that can happen is social media. It's a great way to connect with our constituents and people out in our community. We want to be cautious too about what we are posting, what we are saying on there, or engaging in posts for other alder persons. So I just want folks to be mindful of that and set out as a reminder to just make sure that you're being very cautious, because we do not want to have those particular open meetings or open meeting violations. For those of you too who are on other committees, which you generally are, you may notice on some of them, especially like a plan commission. Yeah, well, that's quite all right. I'll bring that up. So like if you are at a plan commission, let's say you're assigned to a plan commission and there's a topic of interest that's coming before you, or that's not quite gotten to the council, but you know it's at plan commission. We post a bad key notice on our plan commissions. So that way, as an older person, you can attend even if you're not on that commission and let the public know that you might be present there to gather information, just not to make particular comments. And one of the things that the mayor here brought up too is that when you start going and attending events and there's 2 or more of you that are present, that's when to really use caution on that, because you're starting to get close to whether or not you're going to have a quorum. You could have things like a negative quorum, which is just essentially enough members to defeat or support, or excuse me, to defeat a vote. Those are all things that you're going to want to take into consideration. And then another thing that is brought up too when it comes to open meetings is the closed session part, which is not necessarily open to the public, but when we're in closed session, information that is shared in that closed session has to stay within that closed session. And thankfully, this group, as long as I've worked here, has been very good about adhering to that. So it's just using this as a reminder for everybody. Ben, do you want to add anything into this information?
Eric, I think you did a great job on it. I always just err on the side of caution for everything on it. I mean, if you're saying to yourself, you're wondering, oh, is this something that could potentially violate open meetings? I'd say don't do it. And then contact Eric or myself and we can have a conversation with you. It's just something definitely to avoid on it, but always ask questions. I'm definitely happy to provide an opinion on it. Eric is definitely up to speed on this too. If it's something that you think, oh, I could use some more training on, let us know. There's definitely resources and stuff out there for it. But yeah, as long as I've been here too, everything's been good about this. So yeah, I would just say, let us know if you have questions and we're happy to help.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that. Any questions at this point for Eric or Ben or myself? Okay, we're going to keep moving on then. That brings us down to 5E, mayoral appointments to boards and commissions. Board of Review, Kyle Behrens, 1-year term to April 2026. Historic Preservation Commission, Tim Dotsett, 3-year term to April 2028. Melissa Nealon, 3-year term to April 2028. Joshua Conkey, complete 1-year term to April 2026. And the Library Board, Laura McCulloch, a 3-year term to June 2028. If anybody would like to support this with a motion, you can do so at this time. Abby.
I make a motion to approve the mayoral appointments as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Mary?
I will second Abby's motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, no budgets transfers this evening?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. And that brings us down to the mayor's report. Just a couple little quick things. Number one is they took some trees down at Winter Wonderland. They were falling down and diseased and weren't in good shape, and they're putting some new black dirt on and smoothing things out. We hope to be able to start getting a crew down there of workers to voluntarily build a little shed down there for some equipment and so forth. And I've got wildflowers growing along the one side of the rink. I've been getting down there and I got access to fertilizer and they're up, so that's cool. And a couple other little quick little things. The band concerts, last Saturday was our first day for the farmers market. And yesterday I attended the fly-in for the airplane victims, and it was well attended. Randy, you were there and your wife, and they had about 500 people out there, and I was glad I went out, and yeah, a great loss for the city, but a lot of support from folks that stopped by. Other than that, I'll take it down around the room. Eric?
I just want to, Mary, you kind of touched on that with the farmer's market. They start on our Wednesdays, this Wednesday too as well. Feel free to stop at the market. And then also to remind people, we have a 4th of July event that's coming back, which John Menz from Workforce Development and his board and a variety of volunteers are working hard to bring back and make that a very lively event with various sports activities, music, bands, all those sorts of things. So something to keep on your radar. Think about sticking around 4th of July and telling your friends and neighbors about it. That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And we can go right around the room. Chris, do you have anything to add tonight? Nope. Doing your job? Good job. Lee? Abby?
I just wanted to say that at UW Stout right now through Wednesday is the Polytechnic Summit, which is international. There are folks in town from Belgium and Germany and then around the United States, other Polytechnic institutions. So there are folks enjoying all of town. I think I heard them talking about going to Nonic and Wilson Creek and places around town, and they're staying in hotels here. So putting on a good face.
Cool. Thank you. Eric? Matt?
Yeah, I took a lap around the area here by City Hall and just kind of looking at how the trash cleanup is going with the UW South students, leaving all that. And we know that's a hectic week when they have to clean the dorms out and clean the rentals out and be out by a certain time. And I know my understanding is that South's going to move to GFL instead of waste management, because waste management's in Eau Claire and they can only come once a day, and GFL is more local. And just kind of putting a bug in that maybe next year, maybe we can assist or do something to help, or maybe have large, hoppers somewhere to help out with that cleanup, because there's just a bunch of trash and it's overflowing. It's kind of everywhere around these streets and not a great look for our community. So just want to put that bug in.
Thank you, Matthew. I know there's been, thank you, Matthew. I know there's been some work on this, and we have Dave, do you want to touch on that real quick with the furniture and such?
Yeah, we actually do a cleanup with Stout. Our guys go down and help compact the dumpsters that are in, I think it's lot 29. So Stout's lot 29. If you have a student ID, you can bring furniture there. I don't believe they charge at all for it. And we've had people, I know Megan has told us that apparently one day there were some people carrying a couch from 4 blocks away. Just 2 guys just walking down the street with a couch. So I think that certainly has helped. There were years where there was lots of furniture placed on the curb, and we don't see what we used to see with that. Not to say that that it's 100% clean, but it's better than it has been.
Yeah, it's way better than it has been, but there's always room for improvement. Thank you. Thank you. Jeff?
Yeah, on Saturday, the ATV, UTV clubs had a ride benefiting Randy Smeltzer, who was a Dunn County Sheriff deputy for many years. We had 102 vehicles go by our house.
Did you count them? You sit out there and counted at 1,
And
2?
and then they hooked up they went from Elk Point to Dean and Sue's, and more of them met at Dean and Sue's. And they were really appreciative that, we did open up our street so they could get through one end of town to the other, and I guess there was no incidents, and everybody got back to Oak Point safe, and
Good,
so.
good. And touching on that topic, ATVs and UTVs, I've had all compliments and thank yous from not only the ATV, UTV people, but I've had even some people that thought, you know what, I thought this was going to be really bad, and it's not been a problem. So, go ahead, Ben.
And just a reminder on that, we will be bringing that back for the kind of 1 year evaluation of everything. I think, David, is that September?
Yeah, it went into effect in October 1st, so
So we'll bring it
probably do in September sometime.
back then, and we'll have the chief here and stuff for that too.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Jeff, for that. David?
I actually put turn signals on my ATV I just bought for my sister 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Well, now you got to put
It's legal now.
now you got to put a motor in it, some fresh tires. You start with blinkers. That's a good start for you. I know you're sitting on the garage dreaming of when you can go on it. So good. Get your license. David, I want you to touch a little bit on the road construction up on the north end by McDonald's, if you could.
Yeah, so the DOT is going to be reconstructing a portion of the intersection of Pine Avenue and Broadway. They're going to be removing the median islands on the north-south legs of that. Right now, if you're trying to turn left and there's someone that also wants to turn left coming the other direction, you can't see around them. It's called a negative offset. They're actually going to be removing those islands so that you're left of the person that's facing you. So it'll improve safety by quite a bit. I think there was quite a few crashes in that intersection with a lot of those left turners. The one thing that they are going to do that I know we've talked about at this body, and I know there was a public informational meeting, they're going to be installing a median on 12 across the driveways to McDonald's, Dunham's, and Walgreens. There were quite a few crashes where somebody that was trying to get from McDonald's to Walgreens or McDonald's to Fleet Farm or something, for whatever reason, they were coming across that roadway. And I want to say there was like 30 accidents in a 5-year period in just that one location because people were making bad decisions on when to pull out. So that median island will prevent left turns in or out of those two driveways. I'm sure there are some people that if they live on Elm Avenue West, not Matt in particular, but and they wanted to get to Marketplace, they'll have to find a slightly different way of getting there. But that was a pretty dangerous intersection. So that'll be a change. I'm sure there are some people that didn't realize that was coming. So that'll be when that comes in. I'm sure there's going to be some folks on Facebook complaining about it. So
Is it too late for me to veto that?
well, that was a DOT. It's their highway.
So it's not. I can't even do anything about it.
Correct.
All right,
Yeah.
just duly noted then. I couldn't do anything about it.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Pine Avenue is nearing phase 1 completion. They were doing the last of the concrete work in phase 1 this week. We hope to get pavement, although the weather tomorrow is probably not going to help us, but hope to get pavement on phase 1. And then they can move on to phase 2, which is from the driveway to the water park to the Shark. So that section will be a little bit more disruptive to access into Wilson Park or into Wakanda Park, because we're going to have to route people up around the Historical Society, which is a little bit further out of the way than the Maple Avenue access that we have right now. But so that'll be changing. I'm guessing they're probably going to wait till school is out, but we have a meeting with them tomorrow to talk about their exact schedule. So pool project is going well. My understanding is they're going to start filling it tomorrow. We hope to open on time on June 7th is the goal. The Phelan Park Playground is mostly done. We have to do some sidewalks around it and then put all the safety surfacing in. We do have security fencing, caution tape. I mean, we're trying to keep kids off of it because there is not safety surfacing right now underneath it. I believe we've still had some kids climbing on it. So
Yeah, it's like heck when you come down off that slide.
To keep your kids off of there if you could. That's all I got.
Okay, good. Thank you for that report. There was one thing you said in the middle of that. The pickleball courts were full last Tuesday night with a tournament that they had. They had over 40-some people coming from Chippewa Falls, Rice Lake, and all over the area to play pickleball. I think they have Tuesdays and Thursdays tournaments, and they're trying to raise $25,000 to help us with some offset some pickleball costs for the courts coming up. So I support that. I haven't learned how to play very good, but I get out there and pound the ball around. So other than that, Randy?
I just want to say that it's appreciative of the efforts that have been put into the bathroom at Point Comfort Park. I know that the demolition, the fire damage was pretty extensive when you have those guys cleaning down there for 2 weeks. But that's a pretty heavy use park and we need it. And I don't know, is the outdoor toilet still there? Are these the new ones, they're gonna work again?
I'd have to look. I mean, we had to repaint the inside because of the smoke damage. So I don't know if I can't recall if we've opened it yet.
Thank you, Brandon. Mary?
So did they by chance catch the guys or gals that did the damage in the bathroom at Point Comfort?
I have not heard anything yet. I know the police department has an investigator on it. I know they looked at some video cameras around the area. But I haven't heard yet.
Okay, and then one other question for Dave. When will the intersection of Pine Street and Wilson open, that intersection?
My guess is going to be June, let's see here. It's June 8th, I think June 9th is a Monday. My guess is that that's going to be the,
After school.
yes.
Thank you.
You only drive both directions. I mean, a couple times a day. I don't know what you're whining about. I always see her. You know what? Everybody should drive a school bus. It's the most fun I ever had. The little kids are amazing. I've had to tell different stories now and different jokes, but amazing little kids. And Mary, she's been doing it for how many years? Been driving bus? Long time. And she's got every route figured out. So if somebody is missing, she'll just take the route, no problem. So, anyways, thank you. Ben, you got anything? Nothing to add? Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, that takes us down to claims. If somebody'd like to pay the revised claims list, now is the opportunity to do so. So, anybody wants to make a motion to support the revised claims list? Matthew?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the revised claims list as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Eric?
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yonko,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Schwebs,
Yes.
isn't here. Solberg,
Yes.
Brennan isn't here. Erdman,
Yes.
Summerfield,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Crow.
Bless you.
Yes.
Good, thank you. That brings us down to licenses. We'll take this in two places. Number one is 10A normal license list. If anybody would like to make a motion to pass the normal license list, we can do that at this time. Abby,
I make a motion to approve the normal license list as presented.
thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Mary,
I'll second Abby's motion.
motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Takes us down to 10B. The premise amendment for existing Class C wine license of Hyden Hollow LLC located at 222 Main Street East for a sidewalk cafe. Eric?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So we have a request from Hyven Hollow to amend their existing license. What they would like to do is do some outdoor seating in front, and you can see this rendering in front of you on the big screen and on the side screens. And they would also like to have the ability to be able to serve wine to their patrons out on that area. The amended license would allow for that service to take place on the sidewalk. You see some measurements that are there before you, one to see the length of it as to how long the actual seating area would be. But then also you will see that 74 inches, that's to be able to designate an area so that individuals with disabilities can still yet pass through there. And so this is in keeping with some of our other amended licenses that this body has approved in the past. And we've had an opportunity as staff to review this, and we have no concerns with the request at this time.
Okay, anybody like to make a motion to support this? You can do so, Matthew.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the premises amendment for the existing Class C wine license of Hyven Hollow LLC located at 222 Main Street East for a sidewalk cafe as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Jeff?
I'll second Matt's motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. I think that just about sums it up for the evening, doesn't it? If anybody like to make a motion to adjourn. Oh, nobody's gonna make that motion. Oh, we got motions. Okay, Jeff,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
all right, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Matthew, with a second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Great night.